Think about all of this, and I'm worried about all of you. I'm worried about your children. I'm worried about your future, and you see these things happen. There's certain things we can do and to adjust and so forth. The question is, what do we do on a personal level? Because as we see the softening, systematic softening of the moral fiber and strength of families, you've probably heard some pastors say this in the past: weak families, weak churches, weak nations. It's just the family, it's just the units trying to be described. So you think about it, in a military, you've got a squad, a fire team is 3 people, and then 3 squads make up a company, and then they make up a platoon, and it just gets larger and larger. That's the family unit. It's exactly the same sort of breakdown. The highest and most important thing is the family. If you're going to have a strong church or a strong nation or a strong community, it's all got to come back to that family unit. Mom and dad have to be on the same page, and we need some godly men. And as we see this softening happening, America lives in greater turmoil. Now I want you to catch something. A strong America keeps others from wars attacking us. When America is weakened so that they see us as peers, that's when you have wars. All right? Y'all with me? It's huge. So what can you do today? Well, this is what one thing I would encourage you to do today is, when you leave, I got a copy of the Man Code. Because strong men are what we need. And I know this is totally like evil to even say. It's like, how could you say we need strong men? Because men are evil. That's Marxism. Men are made in the image of God. You ladies are made in the image of God. God has made you ladies amazing, and He's given you certain attributes and characteristics that bring Him glory that men could never do. And likewise, there are certain characteristics that men bring to the table that God created, and He brings them together, and they become one flesh in this thing called holy matrimony. And when you throw out femininity and you throw out masculinity, you end up throwing out God's design. You end up suffering the consequences. We've done that here. Follow the science, they told us. We're going to throw that out and look at the consequences to homes and our children. So, years ago, when I trusted Christ, it's like, what does a real man look like? I'd seen men do horrible things. I trusted Christ, started reading the Bible. It's like, there's different kinds of men. Joshua was a different man. Joshua did these things. We're going to see other men through the Bible living completely different. I started to enumerate those and said, this is what I'm going to be like. And then I started writing these things down a bit and started telling them to my sons. And then I noticed when I was teaching at the college level, my 12-year-old would meet with the college students, and he would be setting the example and telling them how they're supposed to be acting. I'm like, man, this has got to be codified in a way so we can communicate it to others. See, it's not just enough for me to become a man of God. I've got to help others become a man of God. And so we started working on the Man Code book, and just finally this week it got done, and it's in our hands. And so when you leave today, you guys, each family gets a copy. If you want more copies, you got to get them online at Amazon on Thursday. They'll go on sale there. But I want to encourage you men, memorize this thing. Ladies, you memorize this thing. You say, well, I'm a single lady. Memorize this. My daughter learned these things. Look for a husband that has these characteristics. Then when you get married, help him to be better at these 12 things. And then when you have sons, make sure they know these 12 things, and their wives will thank you for it later. I can't tell you how many times my daughter-in-laws have said to me, thank you for raising a good man for me to marry. Friends, this matters. And so what I always tell couples is this, or tell families this: you men, for heaven's sakes, be a man. Ladies, and all of you said, amen. Yeah, do it. Be a man. Ladies, if you're single, get a man. But listen, not a boy. I was with a great lady the other day. She's in her late 20s. And she was telling me about her boyfriend. And she goes, he's so cute. He's just like a little boy. Run! Right? You don't want to marry little boys. Get a man. Encourage a man. Whether you're a man or a woman, when you look around, you see men acting like men, doing those 12 things that God describes what a godly man looks like, then you cheer him on. And then down the road, if you have sons or nephews, you help raise godly men. It'll make a difference in our world. That's what needs to happen at this particular point. And all of these things that are in the man code, we find them in Joshua's life at some level, depending on the amount of detail.